Okay, so we got our Sonos beam plugged in, it's ready to go. It's pretty simple. We just plugged in the HDMI cord and the power cord, and that's it. We're going to rely on wireless for our internet, and we did plug it in. The HDMI cable goes into our TV, into the ARC or audio return channel of our TV. So you do need to make sure you plug it into the right connection on the back of your TV. Unfortunately, I can't show you the back of my TV, but it will have ARC next to the HDMI port, whichever one does support ARC. Typically, only one is going to support ARC, so you got to get it in that right one, which may require you moving another device out of that port into one of the other HDMI ports on your TV. Otherwise, you can use the optical out to HDMI if need be. But we used ARC on this TV. So we just need to open up the Sonos app. Of course, make sure you have the latest update. Check your app store to make sure you have the updated version. And we're going to add it, so we're just going to tap on more, and we're going to tap on add speakers. And then we're going to sign into our account. Okay, so we're signed into the app and with using our Sonos ID. So we're going to walk through the standard Sonos setup. So it's going to remind us to plug into power. And we're going to wait for the green light. So you can see there's a green light flashing here, which is great. That's what we want to see. So we're going to press continue on the app. And it shows us the beam here. And so if you have more than one device, you can pick the device you want to set up. So we're going to press the sync button on the back. Show that to you. So we're going to just press this button. It's the same button that you're going to see on any of the newer devices like the Play 5, the Play Base, and the Sonos One. We can hear a tone. And it found it, so we're going to set it up. So now that it's connecting to the Sonos beam, it's communicating all the information about our setup. We actually have quite a few Sonos devices in our setup, so this can take a little while, so just be patient. It's going to take, usually less than a minute or so. Okay, so now it's done communicating with the beam. We're going to press next, and we're just going to name it, living room. And they're going to walk us through setting up the beam. Right now we're not going to add a sub to it, so we're going to hit not now. And we're not going to add surrounds. But it is important to note that you can make this a full 5.1 surround sound system with a Sonos sub and 2 Play 1s or 2 Sonos ones as your rear speakers. I mean, you could technically even use a Play 5, 2 Play 5s as your rear speakers. Obviously that would be a little overkill, especially with the beam as your main source. But you can do that, so we're going to continue on with the setup. And we just updated our Sonos app, but because we added a beam, there's another update to it. So this does take a few minutes to go through, and so we're going to let it go. And then we will be back to finish the setup. So our update has finished, so we'll press continue. And now it's just registering the beam with our account. And so now we're done. And my TV is on. So this is nice when you set up a home theater device, a Play Bar, Play Base, beam. Sonos will walk you through getting that set up. So connecting to the audio return channel lets you know what you can do with that. And so, they're giving you the option if you can find it. So they give you a little bit of information that we mentioned earlier. So I found my ARC port, so I'm going to hit yes, I found it. I am connected to ARC. And we want to, it's pretty cool. And notice that it is a Samsung TV. So it tells us to go check our settings on our Samsung TV. So we know it's working because it wouldn't have told us that if it didn't detect a Samsung. So I'm going to grab my Samsung remote and see if this is turned on. It might be turned off on ours because we actually turn that off in some of our systems for various reasons. So I'm going to walk. Yeah, so the AnyNet is turned off, and that's where they want us to turn it back on. So we are going to turn it on. And so we are going to test connection. right, so it added the speaker. We're not going to add any other right now. We are going to skip True Play for the moment, but if you haven't done True Play before, you can watch the video and tune the room, and we will do that. We're just not going to record that process. And then we can also sign into Alexa. I am going to skip Alexa for now as well, and we're going to press done. And so now our beam is set up. If we go to our Sonos rooms, we can see all the rooms in here. So we do have quite a few in here, and we have the living room is our beam. So there is our living room. So let's go ahead and turn on the TV sound, and we're going to take a little listen and see what we think about watching TV on the beam. So we're just going to play a little clip from The Incredibles, the original.
They're supers! Get the boy! Show yourself!
It's pretty cool. Actually shows your Sonos beam volume. The volume does skip pretty fast if you hold down. So I'm just using the Apple TV remote. If I hold it down, it skips pretty quickly through the volume. So the initial reaction that I had when I was watching this scene and just kind of listening for basic sound is definitely going to be an upgrade over our TV sound, bar none. But I want to see how it sounds after we True Play it, because I could tell it wasn't as crisp as I would like. And I don't think it's going to give us as much sound as what we're used to with our play bar. You could kind of see I could hear in the explosion that you just didn't have that boom effect that you would have with the play bar, or if we added a sub to this. So we're going to tune the room, and then we're going to listen to it again and see what we think.